Hey guys, it's a very pretty day out today. So I came further down into the backyard so we can be out in nature. But I am way closer to the railroad tracks right now, and there is a train coming by. So I'm going to pause it. Okay, so today I wanted to work on the Oracle decks. I wanted to tell you about Oracle decks that I had gotten because yesterday we covered a bunch of the tarot decks that I have. And there's, besides like trains, there's church bells that go on. They're going on right now. So I don't know if you'll hear them in the background, but sometimes the birds come through on the microphone. And just so you know, it's a Rode microphone. I looked up what is the best microphone for like a small one, because I wanted the best for something that would be a smaller investment. And Rode was the company that was named for that. So that's what this microphone is. But it's like I like the idea of having something that has a wire to it because I think that it like just makes more sense that it's going to be clearer and less interference, less things can go wrong. But there is a tarot reader that I watch and he has got this microphone. I don't know what it is. And I know he talks about it because he does, besides just tarot readings, he does this thing called The Gathering. And it's like conversational videos, more conversational. And I know he said what type of microphone it was on there, but I haven't been able to find the one in which he talks about it. So let's just start out with the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck. And like to go through an Oracle deck, it's going to take like forever, but let me just see. You know what? Let me just try to go through them as fast as I can. Okay. The rattle. Okay. The sweat lodge, the spiral, the gatherer, magic, standstill, the coyote, the rainmaker, the ancient ones, the circle. Oh my gosh. I don't know what it was about this certain period of time, but the name for this kept coming up and I can't remember what it is right now, but the snake that's eating its tail, completion. It's like for this period of a week, my kids and I would be watching stuff on TV and it just kept coming up over and over and over again. And we were trying to figure out what the heck is that? Because they were referring to it by its name. But anyway, yeah, that's so the arrow, but I can't think of what the term is right now. So, and that's not well enough into my subconscious that I would remember it. So maybe I'll look it up. Council. No, I love this one, the crow. What number is that? 13 represents a 4. All right. The corn. I feel like anytime that I've done these readings, the corn card comes up, corn and harvest come up more than anything else. The medicine wheel, I love this one just because of all the birds because of all the animals that are on it. It kind of represents animals of each element in a sense. Do they have a water element? Not really, but they have the snake. It's like a snake, an eagle, a jaguar, hummingbird. There's an arrow back in there somewhere. The water, beautiful. The journey, the jaguar. It's funny. I was just listening to a reader that was talking about a jaguar or a cougar. She was like, "You're not the cougar. Somebody sees you as a cougar, but not like a cougar, like in the typical sense." That was thunder. The holy mountain, fire, beauty way, the lotus. I would just have to say that what the lotus always represents is coming up through the muck in order to grow, right? So the beauty way is probably the path of like starting out in the mud until you reach the surface. Okay, the ghost dance. Oh my gosh, 22. I've never seen that one. I'll list the numbers. I know I missed a bunch already, but so what? We edit as we go. Flow, number 20, just in case these numbers mean anything to you as you're seeing them. And I'm not giving you really any messages behind it just because we're trying to go through so much. The middle world. There are crows in here. How many? 6. There are 6 crows in here, and it's a 36 card. There is a 4-wheeler going by on the tracks right now. He sees me as I see him. Okay. Many paths, 34. 34 seems to be a very significant number in my life, and it represents 7 in numerology. The seer, 45. I never see the seer in my readings. These cards are so cool. The drum, 15. That's always significant to me too. I love the sound of drums, and I used to be a drummer, but I was never confident enough to like really enjoy it. So now that I'm older, way older, I don't mind learning it again. The beloved, number 5. This one is like so significantly different to me. When I see this one come up, it's so significantly different than anything else in this deck because it's like the only one that's all red except for fire, which I don't know if we already passed by that. It seems like we did. Yeah. So right. The lower world, I love this one. 31. The Vision Quest, 60. The Child, 7. Hummingbird, 26. The Time Master, 57. The Moon, 37. The Tree of Life, 58. The Sacrifice, 44. 62, The Wild Woman. 47, The Smoky Mirror. 18, The Earth Keeper. Is there like a better way to do this? Not really. I just like efficiency. Okay. 30, Lightning. I'm reading backwards, so we'll see. You let me know if I'm wrong. Soul Retrieval, 49. Wind, 63. Taming the Wind, 55. Oh, the Curse. Oh, dang. This just came up, like having the red handprint over the mouth. It's number 14. It came up. My friend was telling me about it. And yeah, maybe we'll talk about it in the future. The Giveaway, 23. The Sun, 53. Luminous Warrior, 32. The Serpent, 46. Earth, 17. Mm. The Heart of the Sky, 24. The Andean Cross, 2. The Owl, 39. The Eagle, 16. The Sorcerer, 48. The Staff, 51. Staff always reminds me of a giraffe, but it's not, right? It looks like a giraffe if you look at it fast. Just hang on a second. Try not to get all these cards crazy and flipped upside down. All right. 41, the Rainbow. 38, the Mystical Shaman. Pachamama, 40. 59, Upper World. The Hunter, 27. The Blade, 6. The Witness, 64. The Sweat Lodge, 54. Anybody ever been to a sweat lodge? Okay, so I think that had to have been back to the beginning because I see Spiral again. Let me pause and get another one. Actually, before I get another one, what I'm going to do is just like shuffle up and just see. Shuffle up, I guess. All right. Sorry. My brain, it loves to play with words. And we'll just see what comes out. And we'll just get a small message. And whether it be intuitive, these ones are hard to shuffle because they're so large and they like to stick together, right? So just maybe one more, maybe one more. So you have to sort of encourage them to come out. No? All right. One more? No? No? Okay. We're just going to go with what's on the bottom then. The Sorcerer, 48. And then we have the Earth, 17, and the Vision Quest, 60. Okay. So I will go through and look up the meanings of those. Hold on. Oh, I don't think I have the book with me. Hold on. Let me pause and see if I have it. Okay, I don't have the book with me. So what we're going to do is just pull some information from this. The Sorcerer sounds like a bad thing, but it's like the Magician. Okay. And the number is 48. 44 plus 8 is 12. And then 1 plus 2 is 3. And that's how numerology works. You're always trying to like reduce things down to a single number. So 48 reduces down to 3. And that means it's like that stability I said, I mentioned in the video that I made yesterday. It was like the mind, body, and spirit. Oh my gosh, I thought I saw a hummingbird, but I don't think it's a hummingbird. So if you see there's something of like an enlightenment disc around them, you know? So if you see like pictures of Jesus and angels and things like that in like old artwork, that it's like the sun disk around them represents enlightenment. Okay, we think of the angels as having a halo, but also there's sort of this like rainbow vision right in here. And that I was saying yesterday, it's like when you can see that white light fractures into all these different colors, it's almost like the sorcerer can see within the light of all the different things that are in there. Okay. And then Earth and the Vision Quest is like it's almost like the duality of living as a human, right? The earth represents our sort of animal self, and the vision quest represents the spiritual stuff that goes on inside of us. That is like, it seems so, it just seems so overwhelming all the time. And, you have these conversations with yourself about like, why can't I just do the thing that I want to do? What's so hard about it? It's just a matter of like me moving my body in the direction of the thing that I want, right? But it's it's just never that easy. And I think that this is the point of conflict of like living in this human world, but then always wanting something more, always wanting something more expansive. And that's why we drink, right? Because there's just like it's a little altered state that we can get into where we just sort of let go of the things that we worry about, right? And so the earth is 17, so 1 plus 7 is 8, and 8 to me represents like infinity. I've said this numerous times. 8 represents infinity. It's almost like if you had the foundation of a 4 doubled. Um, I don't know how to describe it better than that. It's like infinite foundation. Okay. And then the vision quest is a 6. And a 6 is more representative of like, people always say like 666 is evil and this, it's not really like that. It's like in numerology, it's more about like family. It's about building. It's about like, I think of it in terms of 5 is change. 5 is representative change because it's halfway in between from like 0 to 9. And so it sort of represents this point of somewhat of instability, right? Like if 4 is stability, then 5 is the next step forward. And it means that you're transitioning into something that doesn't have the same kind of stability. And then it's almost like when you step off from change and start moving forward into the higher numbers, it's like your first step forward to where you're building with somebody else. And oh, this is sweet. Magic. I don't even know how, I don't know what I just did with these cards. This one came up, but it's 33. That is the age at which Jesus died. So whenever I see 33, it's like, and see, again, she's got this like halo around her of enlightenment. And the magic is, I don't know if you guys realize this, but Jesus was like an energy healer, okay? And he wasn't a witch that was burnt at the stake, but he sure was like put up on something similar. So take it for what it is, but I don't know. Okay, so let me run through. Okay, I grabbed this one next, so we'll go through the art oracles. Pause. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through the artists. I'm not gonna read all the stuff that's under it, but Michelangelo, Louis Bourgeois or Bourgeois, depending on how he says it. Sophie Cal, I don't know. Henry Matisse, and of course, there's like nudity in all of these. Leonardo da Vinci. Holy shit! I was just thinking about this because I was thinking about like the star, like the. I'm not a Renaissance man. I'm a Renaissance man. Dissect what makes us human. Look into the research like you would a crystal ball. Okay, we're just gonna keep moving forward. The train is about to start up again, so it might get real loud. Gustav Klimt, Vincent van Gogh. This dude's one of my faves. All right. Mies van der Rohe, Orlan, Pablo Picasso. He's kind of a mess, but he's a good dude. Rem Koolhaas, maybe. Jean Cocteau, Jean-Michel Basquiat. I don't know. Wasily Kandinsky. Oh, Kandinsky. I've heard of that before. Frida Kahlo. Everybody should know who she is. Yayoi Kusami. My daughter had to do some artwork for this, like that was her type of artwork. They were learning about her in school. Francisco Goya. My son has a friend, Francisco, and every time he talks about him, have you guys seen the movie Elle, where he like goes, Will Ferrell goes into his dad's job and he's like, Francisco, Francisco. That's fun to say. Salvador Dali. Oh man, I love that guy. He was my best friend's favorite artist. Buckminster Fuller, Caravaggio, Charles and Ray Eames, Cindy Sherman, Damien Hirst, Diane Arbus, Edvard Munch, Filippo Marinetti, Yves Klein, William Morris, like cigarettes, right? William Blake. Oh, there was penis on that one. Sorry. Um, Titian. I don't know. Girl, all these people. Tracy Emin, Andy Warhol, Paul Gauguin, Piet Mondrian. This looks like a cup, yeah. It's like, okay, anyway. Marcel Duchamp, Marina Abramovic. She's looks intense with the scorpion and the arrow pointing at herself. Jackson Pollock, that's another familiar one. Jeff Koons, maybe a balloon artist. I wait. Albrecht Dürer, Alighiero Boetti, Artemisia Gentileschi, Georgia O'Keeffe, another common favorite. Gilbert and George, Grayson Perry, Gustav Corbett, Sonia Delany, J.M.W. Turner, and Joseph Bayous, and Le Corbusier, perhaps. I don't know if I said any of that right. All right. Let me put these together. It seems like it's going to get loud because the train is doing things. Let's just see if anyone wants to come out and play and let us know something for today. Actually, a lot of them want to come out and play. Just one or two? All right. Well, just because it ended up in my hand. All right. So Henry Matisse, unleash the beast within, productivity, even in pajamas, sketch boldly and paint with a big stick. You know, I love Teddy Roosevelt. And what did he say? Walk softly, but carry a big stick, something like that, or speak softly, but carry a big stick. And Tishan, go viral, not bacterial. A flattered client is a repeat client. Your personality can be as colorful as your canvas. And you know how they say like, um, your video's gone viral or something? I'm like, my videos will never go viral. I'm the medicine, not the virus. Okay. So like, I want my videos to go medicinal. All right. And a couple just flipped over. Frida Kahlo, she's amazing. I really like her. Convalescence lasts a lifetime. You don't spell painting without pain. Oh, snap. Art is your most loyal companion. Externalize your internal world. And then there's that yo-yo, whatever. Your soul is composed of the same dots as the universe. Distinguish yourself from your mirror image. Show them your hallucinations. Francisco Goya. In case of emergency, locate your nearest exile. A good caricature is no exaggeration. Truth takes shape in the shadows. Oh, damn. I like that. And this Joseph Bayouis. You also contribute to humanity's guess contour. I have no idea what this is. Make sure your rabies shots are up to date. Symbolism is just one ambulance right away. Okay, I don't know what this like virus and all this other stuff is, but um, I don't know. Let's pause. Okay, the answers you need are coming in. Full moon in Gemini, full moon in Aries. Oh, this is moonology, by the way. Full moon eclipse, waxing crescent moon, north node, full moon in Leo, full moon in Aquarius, full moon in Libra, disseminating moon, full moon in Cancer, mutable moon, new moon in Scorpio, balsamic moon, new moon in Sagittarius, waxing moon, new moon in Aries, full moon in Taurus, new moon in Leo, full moon in Pisces, full moon in Scorpio, new moon in Pisces, let's see, new moon in Taurus, which I think was like what we just had because we are in Taurus. So when it's a new moon, it's a new moon in the current sign. When it's a full moon, um, in the current like sign that we're in, like Taurus, the full moon is in the oppositional sign to Taurus, which I can't remember what that is right now. It's like 6 months away from Taurus, basically. Adjustments. Oh, I'm sorry. Third quarter moon, new moon in Aries, waning moon, new moon in Gemini, full moon in Capricorn, new moon eclipse, fixed moon, blue moon, full moon, first quarter moon, void of course moon, new moon, new moon in Cancer, cardinal moon, new moon in Virgo, south node, gibbous moon, full moon in Sagittarius, new moon in Capricorn, super moon, new moon in Libra, and full moon in Virgo. So again, let me just pause it. And well, we don't have to pause it, but let me just see what wants to come out. If there's any messages from this one, okay, that one didn't make it all the way. These again it's like kind of the same texture as these other the other cards that I did first, where they kind of like to stick together. Okay, I'll just take it for that. You are good enough. Full moon in Virgo. All right, it's time to take action. New moon in Aries. Okay, and Aries is young, fiery energy. Don't let your past hold you back. So the South Node is sort of like where you came from, all the lessons that you were supposed to learn from in order to go towards your North Node. So it's not really a thing in the sky. It's sort of like an imaginary point in the sky. It's where you're heading and where you came from. And then full moon in Gemini. The answers you need are coming. Okay, so if you all have been waiting for answers, maybe they're on their way. Okay, pause. Okay, I had seen other readers read from this like Rumi deck oracle, and you know who Rumi is? He was like, I guess he was a poet. I don't really know who he is, but so I got these because I thought it was the same thing, and it was not. So it's a little bit different, but it's still beautiful. So I don't know if we'll make it through this whole deck because a lot of it is kind of repetition. So ripening, rediscovery, the unknown, celebration, confidence, enchantment, the source, treasure, union, death, silence, and then these are just like Rumi poems. Okay, so silence, trust, transformation, courage, perspective, work, freedom. Oh, isn't that interesting that they're right next to each other? The Fool, and this deck has been shuffled numerous times. I just haven't really read it much or used it much. The Path, dance, teacher, disillusionment. I think those are linked as well. Laughter, quest, ecstasy. Let me just put these back as I go, or put them down at least. Okay. Letting go, fire, the unknown, ripening, rediscovery, wisdom, music, devotion, service, support, purpose, celebration, confidence, enchantment, the source, treasure, union, death. Oh, I tried to pause it. It did not pause. Okay. All right, so let's just see. These ones are like real slippery and they are square. So, but oddly enough, they're kind of an easier. Oh, I saw that one wanted to come out. That's okay. As I say that they're easier to work with, they're easier in terms of size, but they're very slippery. Okay. See if anything else. All right. At the bottom, letting go. Oh, lover, leave your lonesome scheming. Become mad, become mad. Find yourself in the heart of the flame. Be the moth, be the moth. Okay, and I learned Arabic, and I did not know that these had Arabic on them. So what I enjoy about that is it's got Arabic writing. Now, if you don't know, they write from right to left. So it's so weirdly backwards when you look at a book. It's so weird to like be looking at the back of the book, and that's where it begins. It's so interesting to just get to know other cultures and just get to know some other things. All right, wisdom. Right. And the moon is there, the moon and the water. And that is all about intuition. Wisdom comes through intuition, okay? Comes in like silence. You see that this is just sort of like a single figure dipping their hand into the water in the light of the moon. But it seems to be fire, right? Oh, yeah. So there's fire on the one side and water on the other. And what do you learn from both things, right? Service. It's like it looks like it's meant to be wings, but it also looks like a fire expanding out from their back, but that they're like reading. Oh no, it's almost like they have a dragonfly in their hands or something like that. Okay. And looking at this little dragonfly is like creating their own like wings behind them of this like knowledge and this fire. Um, and they don't even see it, right? All they see is the dragonfly. Okay. And then freedom, right? And that's just like, if you can have this wherever you are, that's freedom. Okay. Not getting all stressed out. Stress is the containment. Stress is the cell, right? It's like the prison cell. And it's like, but it all happens inside of you. Freedom and stress both are invisible and they happen inside of you. And so that is the idea. It's almost like there's a little bit of friction in between wanting to find peace and inner peace when you're working for the man, right? Because then it seems like they got one over on you. It seems like they win if you just give the best of yourself to them and don't let it bother you. But that's, I don't know, try it, try it. Try to find inner peace no matter where you're at and see who wins. Because I would say it's the person who has the inner peace inside, okay? The creative spark ones, I'm certainly not going to read through all of these. So let me just read through a couple, okay? We'll just go with what I have in my hand and all the ones that I just dropped on the ground here. Okay. Improvise is what it says. Practice curiosity. Ask how things work and let the answers inspire you. Okay. So these are like little thoughts of meditation. I know you can't see that, right? But it's okay. I'm going to tell you. Introduce some ambient noise. Try music or work outside. Okay. This is like kind of like white noise, but natural white noise. Tune everything else out. Listen to just yourself. It's like opposite guidance, sort of. Give yourself a time limit. Oh my gosh. That is so important because giving yourself a time limit, first of all, it can make you feel like a failure, but it usually only makes you feel like a failure if you let somebody else give you the time limit and then you don't get it done by the time that you want to. But the benefit of giving yourself a time limit is that even if you're not done by the time that that time limit approaches, you're probably a lot further along than if you didn't give yourself a time limit at all. Okay. So it's like you're creating a boundary, and that's the benefit of it. So you have something to bounce back off of, right? If you were sending out, if you like dropped a pebble into the water inside of a pool, it's like, if you did it in the ocean, when would you ever see those ripples come back, right? But if you did it in a bowl of water, let's see, even smaller than a pool, then it would only take a second before the ripples bounced off that boundary, which is your time limit, okay, for it to come back. So that time limit is there and boundaries are there for you to receive a message back right away. So don't be afraid of your boundaries anymore, because it is hard. It is hard for some people to establish boundaries because they're loving and they don't want to disappoint the people that they love, okay? But you'll see that you can do so much better. Everybody says this anyway, that so I'm not going to just repeat nonsense that you've already heard. You have to live it to believe it. Make something, a meal, a piece of furniture, or a garment from scratch. That is so. Next time you go and buy a present for somebody or whatever, if there's an event going on, make something. Don't just buy something that somebody else made. There's no love in that. People really, I have such a hard time ever like throwing out things that people give to me from their own. I don't want to, but it's so easy for me to just toss something that breaks because it's a piece of shit. Collect advice from 3 creative heroes and use them as inspiration. Awesome. Bruce Lee and Brandon Lee happen to be a lot of, happen to be these voices that I hear in my head often, like be the water from Bruce Lee. Turn off your inner critic. Ask people from different professions how they stay inspired. That is the best way to learn. Give yourself a complete change of scenery, okay? Which is what we're doing down here. It's like you got to see it from up there. You got to see, I transition my chair a little bit often because you're getting a little different view of the scenery. But here it's like, look, this is a willow tree right here. I love willow trees. It's not a weeping willow, but the willow trees are amazing because they just sort of grow underground and then sprout up. There's one like right over here next to me, but I tried to cut it down, so now it's like shooting up with all these little branches. Do one thing with your hands that usually you use a machine for. Try making whipped cream by hand, okay? I'm gonna leave it off at that with those, and then maybe we just have like one more. Yeah. I just put the deck away or whatever you want to call that, the box away. And I noticed that there was one still out of the box and it says, make one new thing, not perfect, just complete each day for your week. Okay. I challenge you to do that. All right. Because, I really have a hard time finishing things because I don't like them in their final form. I don't want to know that I can't change anymore because then it's like the ultimate criticism because I just look at that thing and I just criticize it over and over and over again. But you know what? My feelings about things change like on different days. So it just doesn't, just do some things. Just do some things. It'll calm down that critic and it'll allow you to be like more gentle with yourself. Okay, the reason this is not an oracle deck, but this is just such an amazing card deck that I also got from the gift shop at the Corning Museum of Glass, but it wasn't that. It was like an art, it was a museum near it. Okay. But it's got this like super satisfying little closure that it comes in that's magnetic. So I put on here, I wrote on here that the spades represent wands, the hearts represent cups, clubs are pentacles, and diamonds are swords. And that's just because like that was the impression that that they gave me. But I just want you to see if I can like flip through some of them here. Um, okay. I just want you to see how they are traditional cards, but they have like such a cooler look about them, right? So, and then when it's like a queen, it's so it'll go from a jack to a queen to a king, but then like this is a tree and the tree changes its shape based on what level it's at, right? Like this king of um diamonds is like a mountain, but if you see the queen, it's like not as big of a mountain. All right, let's see. This one is like my favorite, and it's upside down. These are all upside down. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that because I would have technically included that in what I was doing yesterday, but I had forgotten that I had these like still inside with some of my other oracle decks. Okay, this is my newest, favoritist, and you've seen it before. Family. This is the horror classic horror oracle deck. Okay, neighbors, love. You can see that these are still. I didn't shuffle them up from last time. Fertility, mask, wonder of the world, children of the night, fate, illness, cat, and they all represent different horror movies. And some are obvious and some are not. And like a lot of them, I just haven't seen enough of these old classic horror movies to know of them. It doesn't mean that they're the best. That's what they say. They're not the best movies, just like they're representative of something. Boogeyman, The Deep, right? You should know what that one is, Jaws. The Woods, Blair Witch Project, I know that. Egg, I think Alien versus Predator, The Call, Scream, Celebration. I can't remember. We had talked about that one, but I didn't know what it was. Grief, Pet Cemetery. That is like, that's kind of a scary movie. All right. The original one. Curse, Dreams. Oh, that's Freddy Krueger. Devil, Trickster. Homeboy from The Crow, the new Crow. What's his name? Bill Skarsgård. Have you seen him? That dude has some kind of like typecast character to where they're like, you know what? You seem really fucked up. I think you're going to be really great at fucked up movies. So they're just like, but if you see him when he's not in character, he's just such a nerd. Like he's such a nerd. He looks so cool in the new Crow movie, but no, he's just like yeah, whatever. Face, obsession, dance, the other side, flight, friendship, fire, harvest, right? So we have another harvest card between the two different decks. Genius, warrior, dinner. Do you guys remember Warriors, the movie in the 80s? That crazy weird dude who's like, Warriors, come out and play, eh? And he's got the bottles on his fingertips and he's like making them cling together. That is the bad guy in the 1994 Crow. And I saw Warriors way after I saw the Crow. But once somebody plays a bad guy in a movie that I really like, then they're like bad to me forever. But it was funny to see that he was in this movie before The Crow because he played a bad guy kind of in that movie, just like a super weird bad guy. Okay, so this I already don't like him. What was his name? It was not Fun Boy. T-Bird. T-Bird was who he played in The Crow. I'm such a nerd. I'm like a Star Wars nerd for my Crow movies. Okay, it's just how it is. Suspicion, nature, forbidden. Oh, I hear a train coming. Let's go. Hunger. Oh, forbidden was Candyman. I like that one. The one that happened in New Orleans, Farewell to the Flesh. But I think that was based on the original one. Lies, water, earth, trap, experience, escape, help me, ayúdame, shock, midnight, ice, twins, animal, book, right? ABC combination, because that was still sitting there from our last time. Okay, okay, I'm gonna get just a few from this if I can. It's too many. Children of the Night. This deck is like so narrow, but so long. Right, one more. I'll just take that one. Okay, book was at the bottom again, and I don't know if I actually read it, the meaning from the book, the guidebook, but oh, really? I guess it really did want to be seen. So that's definitely one that we are going to read. Fertility and fire. Okay, so let's look at book first, and that was at the bottom of the deck. So that usually gives me like a more overarching meaning, or that's kind of what it means to me, and then the others kind of fall within that meaning. So I know it goes in alphabetical order. A book. Babadook. Babadook. Never heard of it. Directed by Jennifer Kent. That's funny because my best friend's first name was Kent, but he never went by that name. Um, so this came out in 2014. See, so they're not like that classic. Not all of them are that classic. All right, you'll see him if you look. That's the quote. Books are portals that can take us to the other worlds and let us inhabit. Okay, books are portals that can take us to other worlds and let us inhabit the consciousness of the characters found in their pages. But does the door open both ways? What or whom might we let in? Made manifest, a bad idea cannot be destroyed or denied. It will pop up again, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. If it's in the upright, it says, what can you read between the lines? Reversed, will turning the page open Pandora's box? I never thought about that before, about like opening a book. Like, does it does it open you up to the characters in the book? Well, of course. It's like you are directly downloading that character into your brain, you know? It influences what you think. So that's a very, very interesting thought. And that's a good thought to ponder when you're thinking in terms of consumption and what you are consuming and what it means about you. What does it mean about you if you have this like hunger for a certain consumption of content? Um, not to like shy away from those things or pretend that that's not who you are or feel bad about it. It's just like, what does that mean about you? Does it speak to something else? Does it speak to something that's in your DNA that doesn't come from you necessarily, but because you are a product of generations and generations of humans? Like, is it telling you something about something in your past? Sorry, my vision, there was just one small section of my vision that was really looked funny. It's like floaters, like if you know what that is. Okay, so fire, fertility, and children of the night. So I will read them in that order. Hopefully, it won't take me long to find them. Fire. There's fertility. There's fire. Okay. All right, fire. Roar. James Whale, 1931. Yeah, the quote was roar. It wasn't your decision. Stop, bug. It wasn't your decision to burn everything down. Misunderstanding, miscommunication, assumption of the worst, fear, ignorance. This is the kindling. This is relevant to me. Okay. So, and well, it can take a village to really stack all of that up. Once one person puts a torch to it all, it'll all end in flames. Consider though that fire can also bring rebirth, like the phoenix, right? An ash nourished forest grows again and mark a new beginning. In the upright, let it all come down, something new will arise. The reason why this is relevant to me is just because that's kind of the path that I've been going through lately. And I hope that you are too, right? I hope that you kind of see similar cycles in what I've been talking about, that I feel like we've all been in this like 5-year cycle of something, right? We all know that that's kind of when COVID kicked off and it shifted everything. And I want you to start like, if you want to care about meditating or just like contemplation, I want you to go through and maybe look through your pictures from prior to 2020. Look at your activities from prior to 2020 and realize how drastically things shifted in such a short period of time and how you still haven't gotten back to that point in life, okay? That we are still in a very like precarious fear state all the time, and it sucks because we got really connected to our phones during the time of COVID. We got really codependent on the internet, and not just the internet, but like DoorDash and things like that, Temu, all these different things that developed during that time. They're like, look at how convenient it is. Look at how great it is. Like, yes, it's so destructive though for just a natural human. Okay. So anyway, um, let it all come down. Something new will arise, right? Upside down, dig in, defend your castle from its stony keep. And then fertility. The Wicker Man. I remember that was a weird movie. I remember watching it while my son was in the hospital because, like, after he was born, he had to be hospitalized for 6 months because he was fighting death. Um, so I remember that movie kind of came out during that time. My ex-husband and I watching it. So The Wicker Man. Oh, but this can't be the. It's not the same one, right? I'm talking about the Kevin Costner or whatever that dude's name is, Face Off guy. So this was directed by Robin Hardy in 1973. Please Please come say how do. That's the quote from it, right? Self-righteousness can lead us down a path largely of our own making that can be personally disastrous. Self-righteousness can be personally disastrous, okay? Remaining open to cultural and spiritual differences creates the possibility of understanding and connection with others and can help avoid outcomes rooted in foolish judgment. Rituals, be they personal or social, may be productive in ways not immediately apparent. And have been saying that, like, that's kind of in order to avoid being ignorant in this world. I do not like having to apologize because you only have to apologize if you really hurt somebody's feelings or you do something stupid to hurt somebody because you didn't know any better. And it's so much like our experience or our impression of something can shift in an instant just by knowing some piece of truth that we didn't know beforehand, right? And I'm not going to talk about all that right now, but that's why I always stay open to things because you never know. Like somebody that you let's just talk about road rage. This is like a metaphor that I can use right now to explain it. Let's talk about road rage, and let's say that some shit happened on the road, right? And like you had an interaction with somebody, but then let's say that like a few weeks later you meet up with that person in the office where they work at and you did something stupid to them, but you need that person in order to file some things for you, right? Or like it's your bank teller or something like that. It's like somebody that now you need to get something done for you, but they remember what you had done to them in the past because you were just doing something based on perception, a selfish perception, and not this like have you ever done something stupid because you're lost in your thoughts or like you're heartbroken or something? Oh my God, a crow just flew over top. They're so fucking beautiful. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I love it. Um, but like you accidentally cut somebody off or you almost like cut somebody off or cause an accident or something because you're just not paying attention, right? It's like you do not like being seen that way because we all think that we're doing things right. Okay. We all get caught off guard. The people who are doing dumb stuff out there intentionally, that's problematic, right? But when you do it accidentally, I want you to just try to treat everybody like they're doing things accidentally, that they don't know that it's intentionally like ignorant to you. Okay. But you going out and just being like making faces at people for them doing something, it's just remember that we are all human, okay? And that when you're out grocery shopping and things like that, that it's you. Everybody around you is you, okay? All right. So Children of the Night. This one seems very, very important because it came up like twice. Um, Dracula. Oh my God, vampires are my favorite. Okay. Dracula. Oh, and again, Nosferatu. That was that dude, Bill Skarsgård. And I'm not really saying that he's like a nerd, but like I think in terms of like Eminem seems like so cool and intimidating and awesome. But if you watch him in The Defiant Ones, which I highly recommend that you watch The Defiant Ones, it's a special on HBO and it talks a lot about like Dr. Dre, Andre Young, if you don't know that that's what his real name is, and kind of like how he formed with Jimmy Iovine and stuff like that. It's really really interesting, and I have that on like on Amazon Prime along with Straight Outta Compton. And if you watch those two like side by side, if you watch the Defiant Ones first and then you watch Straight Outta Compton, you'll see how the story is being told. Oh, it's just so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I hope that you will like go back and take note of some history that was going on during our generation that we didn't really know about. And again, just remember, it's like it's Dr. Dre to us, right? But he was Andre Young to his mother and his like community. He was just another human like all of us. And then you get up on stage and then you get judged for every single little thing that you do under a microscope. So anyway, let's keep moving forward. Dracula, directed by Todd Browning and Carl Freund. It looks like Freud with an N. Freund, uncredited, 1931. The quote is, "What music they make. Listen to them, your kindred spirits, those of similar habits and haunts, who share your tastes and enthusiasms. Many creatures, humans, bats, wolves, have evolved as social animals who benefit from close bonds that go beyond even the blood ties of immediate relatives. Roam with your pack. It's good for the soul," right? That's like the Three of Pentacles. Roam with your pack. Doesn't that sound so good? Oh man, it's good for the soul. In the upright, make it a night to remember. Reversed, rest. Conserve your energy until the time is right. I just want to read that out one more time because I just feel like if I saw it twice coming up, I'm going to read it twice, okay? This is from Dracula. The quote is, "What music they make. Listen to them, your kindred spirits, those of similar habits and haunts, who share your tastes and enthusiasms. Many creatures, humans, bats, wolves, have evolved as social animals who benefit from close bonds that go beyond even the blood ties of immediate relatives. Roam your pack. It's good for your soul." And that's what I was saying about the pay attention to the content that you consume because you might not resonate with that. You might not like to think to like a thing that you like. Okay. You might not like that about yourself, right? Like if I want to be healthy, then I wish I didn't like smoking so much, but that's not true. I love smoking. All right. So there's a whole lot of other people that probably wish I didn't like to smoke so much, but yo, it's in my DNA. It's in my DNA. It's a scent that was with me from birth. And I love it. It reminds me of home. It reminds me of comfort. It reminds me of being with my family. It reminds me of this right here, as comfortable as I feel right here. That's what it does for me, okay? And, just whatever. That's why I fast, okay? I put myself into discomfort. It's like the hanged man position in the tarot deck. I put myself in a hanged man position all the time to make sure that I'm achieving enlightenment. Because if nobody ever challenges you, you never build strength through resistance, okay? Strength can only be built through resistance. That is a fact, all right? So if you never resist your urges to do things, then you never build strength, all right? And, I said that the last reading was dedicated, or the last video was dedicated to a friend of mine where I was talking about the tarot decks. And the content that I want to do a video for is like affairs and relationships and how they come about, because he had shown me a video of this girl who was talking about like how she cheated on her wife and different things like that because she's in the army, and it happens all the time. But we just kind of look at it as like this trashy thing because we're only looking at the one label of it. And then maybe some of the people that we've seen on Cheaters or whatever, who represent what that label is. But like the, we all cheat on our partners because we lie about the vows that we make to them, the promises that we make to them. So cheating in the physical world of like, when it comes down to like sex and stuff like that, how much time does that consume of an actual affair? I guarantee it's not that much time unless you're just like checking in for a booty call or something like that. And that's what I'm talking about. It's like, hang on, if you can't resist the most basic of like physical urges that you have, then you are fucking weak, okay? And that's what they want us to be in this world. They want us to be weak so that you need the government to lead you or your bosses to lead you, okay? If everybody was confident within themselves, the world would be perfect. We would have world peace. We would know how to get along with each other. But this video has gone on for a long time. So I'm going to leave it off here because this bug is a little bit of shadow that wants to come along and distract me, all right? Or just say it's time to go. We'll just get it that way. All right, I love you. Bye.